Google encourages this like entrepreneurial spirit. So they really tell you that like you're working essentially in a big startup, but you're not. You've got like, I think at the time it was like 60,000 employees around the world, but it's much more now. But it felt like there was this romanticization of like entrepreneurship and startups. And then you actually end up in a role where, I don't know how to describe this at Google. They take a lot of very high achieving type A personalities and put them in quite cog in a machine roles, I think sometimes. So you go in with this romanticization of startup culture, of entrepreneurship, of like move fast and break things thinking. And then you get there and your role is actually not quite as exciting and innovative as you thought it would be. And you're competing with loads of people, and you know, you're collaborating and competing at the same time. I love it as an environment. Like the team were amazing, but I think there's this odd mixture of like competitive and collaboration. But everyone's really smart, everyone's really great, and everyone I think is slightly sometimes disappointed in the cog in the machine type of role. So they're all trying to like make a name for themselves or to innovate in a different direction. So it can be a slightly frustrating place to work, I think, if you really believe in that startup ecosystem. If you really believe in that startup ethos, it can be quite a difficult place to enjoy working. So leaving, everyone's like, oh my god, she was at Google, she was at YouTube, like we'll pay you to do this training, or why would you ever leave, like so it does have a huge benefit and you've learned a lot. But starting on your own, you suddenly realize like, oh hang on, why did I romanticize this type of entrepreneurship, this type of life? Because it is hard, and you're so pre-programmed to when you work at Google, you message someone and ask for a meeting, they will roll out the red carpet. And like the contrast in like the way you were treated when you work at Google compared to as soon as you leave. Like there are some people who are lovely and still want to talk to you, but there are some people who will not talk to you when you're gone. So you suddenly realize like the power of this big thing behind you was really helpful.